This is the Harriet Johnson Primary School in Tucson, Arizona.
We are getting closer and closer to our Camp Cooper date, our overnight adventure in Camp Cooper.
Gloria Torreon is a bilingual teacher at the school. Her second-grade class is planning to go on a camping trip in a few weeks. In preparation, the students have been trying to determine how much food they should bring. Today's problem revolves around that most traditional of campfire desserts.
You had a homework assignment, right?
Yeah.
And your homework assignment was to go home and ask your mom and dad to help figure out how many marshmallows was a reasonable amount
to eat.
So, you guys have those papers in your desk right now, and I know you know where they are.
Yeah.
So here's what we need to do right now. We need to take a little Post-it, and we've already gone over about the Post-its, right? You're going to write your number on here, and guess what I'm going to do in the meantime? Serenade you guys so that by the time I finish singing my song, you guys should all be back here on the rug, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Take a Post-it, pass it around. You guys know what to do, right? Allá la fuente había un chorrito, estaba de mal humor. Pobre chorrito tenía Lord. Oh, that was a deep note there. Okay. Who thinks that they have the least amount of marshmallows? Karen is telling us that she thinks she might have the least amount. She's got 2 marshmallows that she could eat. Does anybody have a smaller number? Does anybody have an even smaller number than 2? Felicia? What do you have there, Felicia?
2.
You have 2. That's the same number as Karen's, right? Anyone with a smaller number than 2?
No, nobody.
No? Okay, you know what? Is our graph ready to go?
No.
But you know what? Getting this information from you is going to help Mrs. Torrejon decide what numbers I'm going to need right here. Okay? Well, we know that our smallest number on this chart is going to be 2. Now, who thinks that they might have the most amount of marshmallows that you could eat? Marisa's convinced. Are you convinced of that, Marisa? She must have a big number there. Marisa, what is your number? 8. Marisa thinks she can eat 8 marshmallows. Better yet, that she can toast 8 marshmallows and eat them. Savannah, what's your number?
10.
10. Savannah thinks that she has the highest number. She has 10. So what number would I need to start my graph with?
10.
The smallest number being?
2.
2. And I'm going to grab my chair over here so that helps me. Okay, so I would need to put 2 on here somewhere. Oh, and I made my fancy 2, not the 2 that you guys are learning here in school. You know what? I think I'm just going to list the numbers 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I going to run out of room?
Yes.
You think so, Erika?
No.
Well, let's keep going. 9, 10. Do I need any more than that? No, I don't.
Once Miss Torreon has finished numbering the graph, students come to the board and place their estimates on the chart.
We have gotten so good at doing graphs, we know where all these numbers go all the time. I really need you guys to think now, because I want you to tell me what this graph tells us. And this morning I remember Daniel saying, Mrs. Torrejon, the graph doesn't talk. Right, Daniel? The graph doesn't talk. That's right. So we've got to figure it out here. Take a look at the chart, and you tell me. Let's give you some thinking time. Jaime's already ready. He knows one thing that chart tells him. Jaime, what did that chart tell you?
The 6 marshmallows have the most, and the 8 the 8 from the marshmallows have the second.
Jaime, those were real good observations. Would you say those a little bit slower so I can write them up here?
That the 6 from the marshmallows are the most.
The reason I write notes up is I want the children to really link reading, writing, and speech always with whatever they do. How'd you come up with that?
Cause the 6 has the highest.
So you counted them then. You counted. And what number did you come up with?
I ain't count them, but I looked at them and I saw that they were the highest.
You didn't count them. You just looked at this graph, and right away you could tell that the graph told you that that's what it was right there. You know, guys, I'm going to ask you, does that graph look like anything to you?
Yes, the 8s and the 5s have about the second most are tied.
The 8s and the 5s are tied.
No, because they have 4 and 4.
Erika says because they have 4 and 4 on this side. Interesting. I'm going to do something with my marker that probably, I don't know if we've ever talked about this in the classroom before.
I know. So you can see which one is a higher one like that.
You think so, Erika?
Yeah, because it's.
Belinda, you were going to say something?
I forgot.
You forgot? Marisa?
It's like this, where you make a block, so you just put 1 and then 2 and then 3, and it gets higher.
And it gets higher. And then what happens, Marisa?
And then it gets lower and lower and lower until it's just a little tiny piece of nothing.
Okay. If you had to go to the store right now and buy the amount of marshmallows for everyone, what number would you choose as far as saying,
2.
You know what, I think most people are going to eat this number?
2.
Think about that for a minute. What do you think most people are going to eat? So that's why you would choose the 6, or is there also another reason you would choose the 6? No, that would be your reason, right? Well, let me ask you, does anybody agree with Angela's answer?
Yes.
Maybe has a different reason, but they agree with it. Marisa, do you agree with that answer?
Yes.
You would choose 6. Why is that, Marisa?
Because if we choose 6, it's not wasting money.
Because if we choose 6, it's not wasting money. That's good. Okay. We wouldn't be throwing any away is what you're saying, right? Good. Jaime, how about you back there?
I'll choose 5.
You would choose 5. Why?
Because I think that the classroom will need a lot.
You're thinking that the classroom won't need a lot. So you would go for 5. Okay. These are all good. I know you guys are thinking about this. The kids feel that this is their classroom and decisions are made in this classroom by them, by us as a group. And this feeling of community, So you're still insisting that we only need a little I think makes my program a very successful one. My question to you is this. If 6 marshmallows will be for one person, if one person will eat 6 marshmallows, how many people will this bag feed?
We gotta wash our hands.
You did a lot of writing down here, and I know it's in Spanish. You want to explain it?
It's hay 14
So
bombones
there's 14 marshmallows
en cada
in cada grupo.
grupo para 14 personas en un palito y luego los cocimos en la lumbre.
Okay. My question to you then is, guys, how many people did the whole bag feed?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
So, Marisa, you're saying that the whole bag fed 14 people.
Yes.
No,
Why
because
not?
there's some more in.
Oh. Erika's got another thing to add here. Marisa, she says that there's 4 extra. What do you guys do with those 4 extra?
All I know, if somebody wanted a lesser amount, could get those 4 extra. Say somebody wanted 4, they would get 4 as much as they wanted.
Wow, guys, you've got some interesting words and
more marshmallows.
organization here. What did you do? I haven't been over here to check on you guys. Wait a minute, you know what? First of all, who's going to be the spokesperson here?
Angela.
Angela, is that what they decided? They were going to have you report to us what you found out? Okay, tell us what you did, Angela.
Everybody got 6, and we like put them like
6 in the
aside, and me and Grecia, we wrote the numbers, and we found that it can only feed 14 kids, and there's gonna be 2, and there's 2 more left.
And there's 2 more left.
Of mushrooms.
So your bag could feed 14 people.
Yeah.
And what did you decide to do with the 2 extra?
Savannah would like cut them in half. She would.
And Savannah, why would you cut them in half?
So all of us could get some.
Would you set this whole thing up differently? Would you keep it the same?
Yeah.
Fabian and Eugene, I think, were still reliving the place value that we had covered in class. So I think they wanted to manipulate those marshmallows around, make their groups of 10, and feel comfortable in that. You're pretty, you know what? Whatever you're doing, push in your chair, leave what you're doing on your desk, and come on over to the rug, please. Thank you, guys. In answer to my question of how many people would 1 bag feed, Angela, what did your group come up with?
14.
14. And you know, how many of the other groups came up with that same answer? Raise your hand if your group came up with that answer 14. I especially liked what some of you ended up doing with your leftovers, which in most cases was what?
Eating.
Yeah, eating them. I have a question for you now. Now that we know that 1 bag will feed 14 people, and we have 24 people, how many bags does Mrs. Torrejon need to buy?
2. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So they're going to be 28.
So there's going to be 28. So you say how many bags we need? 2. 2.
How was the task posed and developed as the lesson progressed? How did the learning environment encourage student reasoning? Discuss student discourse regarding leftover marshmallows.